It's indeed a matter of great pleasure, pride to assemble here on this day. We celebrate 2nd May as the Founders' Day, which is the birth anniversary of my late father. Since this particular day is very much connected with him, his thoughts, and the inspiration that he gave me, and also with our present activities, which has brought all of us together. So I would like to delve into areas of his character which has connection to what we are doing. Well, I should give you a small brief background of that gentleman about whom we are talking today. He was born in the year 1928 in a village called Purapara Gram. It was in the Narangganj district of Tungibai police station. And I had the opportunity to visit that house about 3-4 years before, or maybe 7 years before, because COVID has taken away 2-3 years of our time. So my timeline may not be perfect. It should be 16, 17 or 18 somewhere. I had the opportunity to visit that place. And what description he gave me about his house, almost till today, it is almost similar. The main, structural description that I can give you, some of us can see those who are living or has lived in Sonarpur or adjoining villages. We have, sort of seen those kind of structures here also. It is basically a land which has the house, which had a toll or a school, or what would be school, but those days it was known as toll. It also had a temple and it had a sub-post office. So in a very small way, it was the nerve center of that village. So religion, communication, education, except health, most of the important aspects of healthy living, happy living was somewhat around that place. And the main structural character of that place is that place was entirely surrounded by a canal. A very similar canal, those who used to come here from 2008, 9 and 10 have seen that similar kind of canal just next to our campus, which has now been occupied by some monstrous wall, and that canal has lost its full shape, but it is very similar to that. And when I landed to that place, it was quite evening. First of all, we had to search for Ganguli house, and there were 2 Gangulis apparently. One was different from the other. So from Narangganj JT, that Tungibai Thana, we were guided to some other village. And there somebody else, not my great grandfather, somebody else, again by the name of Ganguli was there, but then we got redirected later on. And when I reached, it was in the evening, and my uncle, Bablu Kaka, all of you know him, he told me that when you go to our house, get some bit of soil from the house. So I was required to collect some soil, but I couldn't travel because I could not reach my house because it was surrounded by canal, and there was only one bamboo pole with one bamboo structure to hold your hand. And you have to cross that, যেটাকে বাংলায় বলে সাঁকো, exactly literally পাশের সাঁকো, and I was required to cross that সাঁকো, and I was not feeling confident to cross it, and it was water below. So somebody local suggested আপনার যাওয়ার দরকার নেই, আমি গিয়ে নিয়ে আসছি. So somebody volunteered, and he brought me some piece of art from that place, which I brought and hand over to my uncle. So that was his work, but he also traveled to Calcutta because his father was working in Calcutta. So though born in Dhaka, most of his upbringing has been in Calcutta, particularly Sonarpur area. So that was it, and he was a very good sportsman. He was Calcutta University Blue for consecutive 3 years. He was captain of Sonarpur Sporting Union for both cricket and football. He played first division cricket for Calcutta Police Athletic Club and also played football for East Bengal, but in the Power League division, which is not the senior division. Next to senior division is Power League. That is the second team of East Bengal. He played with Taj Mohammad and these kind of people. And some of you has been referred in this movie called Maidan. I just saw the other day. Players who has been mentioned there like Chuni Goswami and all, we all know him. Chuni Goswami was junior. He used to play. Chuni Goswami and his brother Manik Goswami used to play under my father's. They were the tutelage of my father in Parganas Institute. Those days there was still their club is there, Parganas Institute. Some of you may have heard of it. It's just opposite to Goriak Market. So that was he, basically a sportsman, and then he joined Calcutta Police and served Calcutta Police for 34 years and 10 months and retired. One job like us, happy life, and also what I found is he had a lot of rustic intelligence and rustic vision, particularly probably because of this partition of the country, the partition and getting uprooted from his own birthplace and settling in a different place. Maybe those things have given him a lot of insight to the real value of life. So he always has to, you told me, and we were a very large family. He was the second child of a parent who gave birth to 15 children. So my fathers were 6 brothers and 9 sisters from the same father, same mother. And so it was a big joint family with him. And his uncles, there were 2 more uncles of him who were, brother of my grandfather. And so that family, Bablu Kaka, belongs to the youngest uncle of my father, means son of the youngest uncle. And I have one more relative sitting here. She's by relation, my auntie. So I said, since you are from the elder generation, cow last. You should sacrifice for the younger generation. So that is, we have deep roots in Sonarpur, particularly in that adjoining area. The current Sonarpur Telephone Exchange is our house where my father grew up, which has now been sold to some Mazumdar, so my grandmother shifted to Maliganj. So that was me. What I got from him, first of all, he told me that look, you don't need to have a large band of co-workers, or you don't need large number of followers to do something. If you have a conviction of doing something, you can do it. Only thing is, you should have a strong conviction that what you are doing is correct. So even if you have very bigger resources, you are alone, start it. Give a start. And if you are having a conviction that it is for good, it will definitely happen. And let me tell you, I go back to 2004. Actually, we formed this foundation in 2003. But 2004, sometime in March, we inaugurated the Jyotirmoy Public School in Russia. Practically, I was alone. And I had no clear vision also what it will happen. I only wanted that English medium education should be available in Sonarpur. This was my only one point in mind. And that was what I started. Now what he gave me to do is, why I did this? A few things, I won't take too much time, but what I will tell you what made, what directions of his or what advice of his helped me in my life. First, He told me, look, you are my son, so it's my responsibility to help you grow up, support you grow up. But my support will be only for your health and education. For all your fields and fancies, all that you wish to enjoy in life has to come from your own cost. I am not going to support you with anything which is not pure basics in health and education. To any level you study, I will fund you. But those days, funding doesn't mean private education and costly education. So those days, funding means basic, fees. And another thing that I got from it, though he did not say every time, we had a very large family, as I said. So my grandfather was not earning enough at the last stages of his life, so it was left to the brothers to support the family. And my father, being the eldest, he had also a lot of responsibility to support the family. Particularly those days, marrying off daughters was a big responsibility, and there were a lot of expenses attached to that. So it was his responsibility many times to fund those marriages. And what I used to see in my child eyes is that my mother's ornaments will go away. Our part-time maid will be asked not to come, and we will go from a bigger to bigger budget of the family for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 9 months. And then again slowly things will start coming back. Biscuits will start coming back and things like that. And then again, one day again it will stop because the next time he has to be married. So as I told you, 9 sisters, out of which 2 sisters were married by my grandfather. 7 sisters were married by my father and his brothers. They all wished him as and when they grew up. And one sister, the youngest, who is very close to me, she comes here, Bhavani Bishi. She married of her own. She didn't do any help from anyone. And she was a teacher in the school and she funded her own marriage. So 6 sisters were married off and brothers were helped to study and things like that. So that was him. And we all became a part of that. And that, I think, somewhere, gave us the understanding that you cannot leave alone. One day he was telling, that look, when a cat mother gives birth to his or her child, he or she takes care of those babies. Initially feed them, then train them how to hunt and care. So that's the responsibility. So if you are taking care of your child, if I am taking care of you, means he was telling me that if I am taking care of you, I am not doing anything like a human being. I am doing it like an animal. Because every animal takes care of their progeny, their offspring. There's no animal in this world which doesn't take care. So I'm just an animal while I'm taking care of you. But after funding your basics, if I can do something for others, then I am acting like a human being. So that, was drilled into me, not once, many times in my life. Whenever I wanted something, he said, no, you have got what you need. There was a boy called Ram, who used to work in our house. So if Ram needs, what will we. So things like that was always drilled into, and I think that has, and even when I grew up, these things got corroborated by the messages of many, statesmen, like people like Gandhiji and all, who said, there's enough for everybody's need. There is very little for one person's greed. So what you should have, greed and need, this fine line between need and greed, probably to some extent, has been drilled into by my father. And I thank him because that gives me the spirit to do something. that is probably what we all need. So my dear colleagues, first of all, let me sincerely thank all of you from the core of my heart that this journey wouldn't have been possible with active support and participation of yours. This journey is as much yours as it is mine. You should be happy and please be proud that if I am doing something right, you are doing the same thing. So you are equally to be, praised for any good thing that we as a team doing in Jyotirmoy, we all are equally to be praised. It's not mine, it's all of ours. So have faith in yourself and continue to do what you are doing. Let us, spread this fragrance among all of us in our generation and also try to contribute for our next generation. And do not only consider yourself responsible for your own offspring. You are actually part of the generation and you are responsible for the next generation. It doesn't matter if it is your daughter, your son, your grandson, your nephew, it doesn't matter who is biologically connected with you. But he or she is connected with you today through some reason. Maybe he or she is your colleague, junior colleague, maybe he or she is your student. Anyway, you have got on, maybe your Paraprativeshi neighborhood or anyone else. Next generation needs our help and guidance. Let us contribute, let us actively participate in building the next generation. That is what we can do because we have to understand and realize that we are here because somebody sacrificed for us. Some generation sacrificed for us, that's why we are sitting here with this air condition and peaceful air. So let us try to contribute. Apart from consumption, it's a big fight between consumption and savings. If we want to enjoy, normally we think that it is the consumption which will give us enjoyment. But there is a lot of enjoyment in savings for future that means contributing to the next generation. So with that, I'm extremely happy to have all of you with me. I sincerely thank God, thank my parents. Today with the Founders Day, I'm talking about my mother, but my mother has been equally, instrumental in shaping my characters. And one day she told me, I asked her that was a year when I just got that thread ceremony done in Saigon. I became a bald head and and those days books were very important gifts at any social function. So I got a lot of gifts, and I was very happy because all of my relatives gave me golden rings. So that was a very standard gift for poetry. So I had 10 such things and I wore all of them and took a photograph showing that. So that I still remember. And I got a lot of books. I think one of them was Bharat's Shadow. So I read Bharat's Shadow and there it was said Bakshito. Bakshito, if all of you understand, is fine. Let me explain to you what Bakshito means. Bakshito means if anybody who is a Bakshito person sees something, it's going to happen. Means it is truth. So I asked my mother, what I want to become Bakshito, how can I become? What is Bakshito? How to become Bakshito? So she told me in very simple words. She said, you can also become Bakshito, no problem. 12 years you don't tell a lie. If you stop telling a lie, or lie doesn't mean purposefully lying. Inadvertently lying or saying something which is not correct is also a lie. So if you can practice that 12 years you have not said a single word which is not truth, which is not correct, then you will also become. Because it's not that you will attain some supernatural power. What will happen is you will get tuned to not saying something without knowing it. So even this was also drilled into me somewhere. So these small things have helped. And another thing my father told me, this will be my last example to you. Today, given a chance, I'll speak more. Monica knows, he's already bored. He's here, what I'll tell you is that, during pujas, every Bengali family will get some new clothes. But as I told you that we had enough to eat, but absolutely there was nothing extra, nothing, zero. So I was studying in South Point School, and we had 2 uniforms throughout the year. One is a summer uniform, which is white shirt and white shorts, and winter uniform, which is navy blue shorts and white shirt with a sweater. So always my puja dress will be a navy blue shorts. That's my new dress for puja, because that is when the 1st November our winter dress will start. So my mother will buy me a navy blue shorts, and that is my puja. So I once I told my father that, look, I am very unhappy. He has got so many clothes, he has got so many clothes. I have got only one shorts. What can I do? 4 days of puja, how am I going to spend these 4 days? He said, look, you have got one, he has got 4. And there were, some people in our campus who were electricians and sweepers and all the support staff. They also had residences in our complex. So he said, go and see how many has Sonarpur's son. So then you will not be unhappy anymore when you see that there are a lot of people who has not got what you have got. So you will immediately feel happy that I have got and he has got. So always look into yourself and compare yourself with the less blessed people. Number 1. And number 2, when it is your achievement, first division page. Doesn't matter, they go first page, or the star page, or letter page. So you compare with them, then you will automatically become humble about your achievement. So when you compare with higher performance about your performance. And when you compare getting something, you compare with the lesser replacements. Answer is, you will always be calm, and the result is you will always be happy. So these things I have tried to practice. Of course, always I am not successful. I am also a human being like all of us. And it's not that I am practicing better. Maybe a few of my colleagues are practicing even better than me. The same thing. I am getting a chance to speak. You are not getting a chance to speak. That's all. Maybe the same thing is happening in you. So I'm sure there are a lot of untold stories. And in future, this gives me an idea that we should also hear one by one sometimes. We should not only hear, because it is a collective effort, it's a joint effort, it's a team effort. So with that, I sincerely thank once again to all of you for giving me a patient hearing. Let's God bless us all, and let's Mr. Jyotirmoy Ganguli, wherever he is, to give us some credit that we are remembering him in a very appropriate and apt manner.